Welcome to the Justice Room. Your life, your rights, your options. Experience and learn from discussions with legal professionals and other experts about the law, its challenges, and how it could affect you. Here at the Justice Room. Welcome to the Justice Room. Who has been a judicial role model for you?
I think that when I think of what makes a good judge, I think about how they treat people, their temperament, their conduct, obviously their knowledge of the law and their skills. And I think that there's several that come to mind that I had the good fortune of practicing in front of. They weren't all equal in their personalities. They're very different people. But Judge Stroker was a judge that I prosecuted in front of for quite a while. He was brilliant, or is brilliant, very skilled, was a bit of a hammer. So he didn't make friends, but was very efficient in how he approached things.
Right.
On the opposite end of the personality spectrum, I was sworn in by Stan Strickland. Judge Strickland has a very even temperament, is very skilled at listening and hearing what people have to say. And so from an efficiency and a legal expertise standpoint, I would say Judge Stroker. From a personality standpoint, temperament and demeanor, I'd say Judge Strickland are both people that I look to.
Now, I'm going to just come flat out and ask it. Have you ever been disciplined by the Florida bar in any way?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That's easy to answer.
Okay, I don't know how to quite put that in a very...
You got to ask.
But you just have to ask.
Yes,
now,
absolutely.
Do judges have an obligation, in your opinion, to improve the public's understanding of the courts?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the fundamental ideas behind my desire to have more interaction with kids especially is that concept, is making sure that people understand that process. And so, I think it's incumbent on us to be a part of that. Now, what hamstrings us is the whole what can you say and can't you say.
Right.
Perfect example, when you watch presidential speeches and you see all the Supreme Court justices just sitting there stoically and they're not clapping or doing anything. It seems like...
except for that one instance just recently that happened where one of the... which we won't get into.
No comment.
But yes, I understand what you're referring to, yes. Yeah. How do you feel they should carry out that obligation?
Well, I know that they're given opportunities through the course of what they do to reach out and do community outreach. I just don't know how they do it. And I guess that speaks to the need.
Yeah.
I've been an attorney for 12 years. I've lived in this county for 26 years, and I can't tell you how the judges reach out to the public.
Really?
So that in and of itself shows you that we need to do a better job as a legal community.
Right.
Of making sure that conversation is open and available.
Well, I'm gonna close the show out. I'd like you to come back if you could,
sure,
and talk to us maybe at another time during this race, and maybe talk to us about some of the challenges that you're going through, or maybe some of the unique people that you get the opportunity to meet, or maybe some upcoming event that you have planned. So that leads me to my next question. Do you have an event planned that's coming up soon that you'd like to let the listening audience know about? Or
we've got some meet and greets that are in the works, but nothing with a firm date. But what I would encourage the listeners to do is to pick an event on the 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
We're going to be at Red Hot and Boom in Altamont Springs on Saturday, July 3rd, and splitting our time between Sanford and Winter Springs on July the 4th. There's some phenomenal festivities going on that weekend. I'll be out meeting as many folks as I can, giving them an opportunity to lay eyes on me and ask me whatever questions I'm allowed to answer.
All right.
And would love the opportunity to come back and speak to you again. I really appreciate you having me on today.
Oh, we're really excited to have you on here. The other thing that I also want to let our listeners know is that when Mr. Ladan has a scheduled event, we are going to publish that on our website. At thejusticeroom.com once we get the information from his campaign. To close the show out, I'd like to ask you one final question, and the question is, what kind of message would you like the listeners out there to know? What else do you want to tell us about yourself that you think is important for the voting people to know about Mr. Ladan and your candidacy for judge?
Well, first of all, let me reiterate August 24th.
Very
important. August 24th, very important date.
Okay.
I think that the things that I'd like to reiterate are that my position on this and my campaign's phrase is no one is above the law, or beneath its protection. And that's really what my candidacy is all about. We want to make sure that when people come before you as a judge, that you're going to treat them fairly, that you're going to listen and follow the law, that there can be an expectation that everyone's going to get treated the same. You're not going to get mistreated. You're not going to get denigrated in any way, that everybody has that right, not just one side or the other, but every single person that comes into court should be given that respect and that dignity. And
Okay.
that's what I'm promising to do as a judge if I'm fortunate enough to be elected.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do our best here with the Justice Room to keep up with your campaign, and as well as the other candidates that are running for candidacy for Group 5. I'd like to thank you for coming on our show today.
Thank you so
And
much.
Hopefully we'll have you back soon again to talk a little bit more about your candidacy for judge, and so that the public can hear more about your experiences as well. Soon we're going to have an opportunity to speak with other candidates, and I'm sure that you're going to keep up with that through the Justice Room. And we also want to make sure that we provide, or if you would let us know where you're going to be when you're going to be there, and have our audience come out and visit with you and talk to you personally. I'd like to thank you for listening to another episode of the Justice Room. We've been proud to speak with Mr. Amir Ladan, attorney at law and candidate for Seminole County Group 5. He will let us know about any upcoming events or campaign information that we're going to share with our listening audience. And thank you again for listening to another episode of the Justice Room.